What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to RC Car Garage, and today we are back again with the TRX4M Bronco. Now, if you guys saw in the last video, I took this guy out on the little mini crawl course that I have, and it didn't do bad. It didn't do too bad until it started binding up in a couple areas. And I believe that was due to the high range gearing that is in here. If it had the low range gearing in here, pretty much, I believe that this thing would do a lot better. But there was a couple areas where it was binding up and it didn't do too well. Other than that, I think it did pretty awesome. The tires and everything did gripped up very, very nicely. So I believe with, you know, the low range gearing and a couple extra mods on here, that this thing will be a complete beast. But we're also going to compare it against this guy and see how they're each going to do. Now this one, I completely put it back to stock, except for the topper on here. I still have to put the topper on, so we'll get that put on. And that will be a test against this guy. So what I wound up doing was I did get the low range gearing right here from Traxxas for the TRX4M, the low range gearing, and I also got the TRX4M light kit. So what we're going to be doing today, I'm going to put the low range gearing in here, the light kit in here, and then we'll go take it out for a test and see how it's going to do. So without further ado, guys, let's take this body off and let's see how the low range gearing goes on and have the light kit. So let's get on it. So in order to take off the transmission, we do have a couple of screws here that are gonna have to come off. So we can take the transmission out of this guy and get the gearing inside put on. So let's go with this together and see how this does. I haven't read any directions. I have not read any directions on this. This is all going off of what I'm looking at. So I believe the first thing you're gonna have to do is take off the battery tray, which are gonna be these two screws right here. All right, so once you take out those two screws right there, what you're going to do is you're going to pull up. Be careful not to pull up too much on this, because you do have the wiring run underneath the tray. So you're going to pull that out of the way a little bit, just so that you're able to get to the screws that are right here. You will see it. I'm sorry about the lighting here, but there you go. So those two screws right there, and you have two more on this side. So once you get the battery tray pulled up, you're gonna have to reach that one, and the other side. All right, now after you remove the four screws there and there, what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to carefully start pulling up on the transmission until your transmission comes loose, just like that. Now, what you could do here is disconnect the power from the lead right here, right there. You could disconnect that lead for the motor and have that disconnected, but I'm going to leave it the way it is because Traxxas already has all the wires run under here. So I'm going to leave that where it is, and I'm going to go ahead and start taking off these 4 screws here to take this cover off. Now that you have all those 4 screws removed, what you're going to want to do is take this part of the drive shaft off with the hex right there, unscrew that, and take this part of the drive shaft off, which is going to the front wheels. Now with that part removed, you should be able to take this cover off. And there you are at the gears. So what you're also going to have to do is the rear drive shaft. You are also going to have to take that off in order to remove this first gear and remove every other gear here. Okay, now that you got all those gears removed, there's 2 more screws on the inside there where you will be able to take the motor off. The cover, take this cover off of the motor. Now when you remove the screws from the motor, be careful where you put them, because as you can see, these screws are actually a lot smaller. There we go. So these screws are actually a lot smaller than the other screws that are being used to hold all of this together. Just like that, you take the motor off. So now we can see the difference between the gears here. Here's the crawling gear and here's the stock gear. And it's a little bit of a difference. So we're going to wind up taking this side off. Oh, shoot. Grab some pliers and gently start pulling that apart. And there we go. Got that gear out. Put that far away. You don't want to lose them because you're still going to need them if you want to switch back to the high gear. Then you grab your, there it is, your gearing, crawling gear, and just slide that guy right back on. And it does slide on easily. Now I pushed that in a little bit too far. Pull that out a little bit and there we have it. So there it is. That is the 1 gear that we changed already. So we can go ahead and put this cover right back on again. Put the screw back into place there. There's 1. Now what you might want to do is get a little bit of Loctite and put it on like so. This was already done from Traxxas, so I'm not going to put more on. And just put that guy right back in to place. Now don't over tighten it and strip the threads on the motor. Alright, so now we have this guy, the motor is ready, so we'll set him to the side. Now we're going to have the crawling gears that are all right here. We have the crawling gears here, and all of these gears here are the high speed gears. So you're going to have to take all of these pins off of the high-speed gearing and put them on the crawling gear. So let's go ahead and do that. Crawling gear, move that to the side. I mean high-speed gear, this is a crawling gear. This one, their pin's already out. Move that gear to the side, slip this guy on, and now this one, that's going to connect all to the drive shafts, like so. So all your high gearing, let's move that over to the side. Now, we are back at the transmission casing. So now we're going to get the one gear, put that in, and gear, don't forget to lube some of this stuff up. So you got the one gear in there, the other gear right there, and then this guy is gonna go like so. All right, and there you have it. I had to switch this one around a little bit. And now what you're gonna do is put a little bit of grease in here. There was no grease with the stock gearing, with the high-speed gearing. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of grease in here and put all of this back together. All right, now after you guys put some grease up in there, you don't have to if you want to, and just slip the cover back on like so. Put those 4 screws back in. All right, now you need your drive shafts. Now you're going to grab the drive shaft, put that guy in like so. All right, so you're gonna slide all the drive shafts. You're gonna slide this. Oh, there we go. So you're gonna slide the shaft in to the bottom part of the drive shaft on the front and the rear. You're gonna set it in place there, and grab your screws and start securing down the transmission. Now you're going to want to set your battery tray, line that up with the inside of the chassis, because there are 2 little lips right here on this side and this side that they sit inside of the chassis rail. So when you go to put them on, kind of have to go in an angle like that, turn it, and it'll sit right in its place. So then you grab your screw with the, there. Put that back in this tray. There you have it. The low gear, the low crawling gears are installed. So that was actually a pretty easy modification to do on here. I mean, just for the fact that Traxxas has the gearing price of crawling gears priced at $5, and it's that easy to put on and take off, shoot. Do that instead of buying the whole transmission for $40. Be honest with you. Yes, it's going to take a little bit longer to switch it out, the gears, unless you're out on the trail and you're at a part where, all right, I want to just walk down the trail. Boom, you can put the different transmission in that already has a high-speed gears in, or swap it over. So it's completely up to you. It is not that hard to switch over. The biggest pain in the butt that's going to be is running the wire underneath the tray. It's going to be running the wire underneath the tray here, the battery tray, and coming up and connecting it to the ESC. That's going to be the hardest part. That is going to be when switching out the transmission. If you already have the gearing in the transmission and you're just swapping transmissions. But in this case, doing it with just the gears, that was not bad. I'm actually going to hold on to these gears. So we will put these gears here and we're going to save those. Now, the other thing we got to put on the Bronco body is the lights. So let's crack this guy open. And let's take a look at these lights. Here are the lights. And these are, I guess, extras? Oh no. So these are, they actually give you the lights for the rear, which I'm probably not going to put on because I do like the fact that it has the design there. And these are just a clear lens, if you guys can see that. So these are just a clear lens that comes with the kit, but I do like the fact that this one has the whole design on the back there, on the lights. So I'm more than likely going to leave those on instead of swapping it out to these. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so the kit, you get, of course, those new lenses for the rear. You get the lights here, and you also get your instruction manual. That tells you everything on how to get this done. So, fire them up and see how this guy's going to look with the lights. Alright, so what what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take these covers off. You're going to want to take these off here and install these guys. This comes with new screws that you're going to use to put back on with the lights. All right, so now we got the front lights put on. Now we gotta route the rear lights through here and get these guys connected. So I'm gonna run it right underneath like so. Pull these, run them right along the side. More than likely, I'm going to wind up getting some hot glue. And I'm just going to hot glue the lights here all the way towards the back. Alright, so as much as I was going to leave these lenses on, because I like how it has a lighting design in there, I can't leave them. So no ands, ifs, or buts, guys. I'm going to have to use the clear lenses. Alright, you guys, and there it is with the lights on. That thing looks it just looks absolutely great with the front lights on, all 4 of them in the front, and the rear lights on. Now this does also come with the reverse. So once you hit reverse on here, you see that they do come on, go forward, hit stop, and reverse. And the thing is that the reverse lights actually stay on until you start moving forward again. So I'm going to hit the reverse. That stops. Here's reverse. I'm off of reverse. So now I start moving forward and the reverse lights turn off. That is awesome. So there you have it, everybody. I think the light kit looks awesome on here. Let's go out, take this guy onto my little crawl course, and let's see how it does now with the crawling gears. Let's go. All right, you guys, so we are out here with the FCX24 K5 Blazer and the TRX4M Bronco. Now on this guy, as you guys just saw, I put the low speed gears in it, and I also put the light kit on it. So let's test these out and see how much this affects the speed of the TRX4M. Is that guy going to be faster in low gear? Or is this guy going to be faster in low gear? So let's test it out and see. I did not change anything on the ESC for this guy. It's still box stock. The only thing that's changed on it is the gearing. So let's check and see which one is slower in low gear. Let's go ahead. All right, you guys. So let's see how they do with their gearing. Is the traxxas going to be slower, or is the FCX24 going to be slower? Let's go. Let's try that one again. 1, 2, 3, go. Alright, so it seems like the traxxas is a little bit slower. They're about the same. Gearing wise, about the same. Alright, let's go about there. On 3, 1, 2, 3, go. Alright, so they're about evenly matched with the gear ratio there. So let's take this guy out. Let's take both of these guys out to the mini crawler course and let's see how they do. hard to get over. All right, you guys, FCX24 K5 Blazer, let's see how it does. Alright, you guys, so what exactly happened? Well, there's that one area in the course that is a little too steep for these guys to climb over. I'm going to have to adjust that and not make it as difficult. But as we all saw, the TRX4M totally dominated, except for that one area. It dominated completely. The FCX24 did not do bad. Again, I put this guy completely back to stock just to see how it would compare low gear, out of the box. And I gotta say, the TRX4M dominated. It definitely dominated. I am very happy with the tires that Traxxas put on this thing. They did great. They did absolutely great, you guys. So I am super excited with these tires. They did awesome. Unfortunately, the tires on the FCX24, the K5 Blazer, not so much. They could be a little grippier, but you guys know I got the tires for this thing. So what I'm going to do is the Blazer, I'm going to put all the brass back on it, oil fill the suspension again, put the aftermarket wheels and tires back on this guy, and give it another shot. Now, the Bronco from TRX4M, we have some brass wheels, we have some more brass, and we got some more brass. So, the only thing that I don't have yet is the links for it. The brass links, still on order. They are on the way. But what we are going to do is use the stock tires with these Endura brass wheels, brass knuckles, steering, everything there. these brass wheel hubs, extended wheel hubs on the Bronco, and we're gonna give this guy another run. I am going to adjust that one part of the course, and we're gonna give these guys another shot, but with all the brass on it. So guys, stay tuned. That's gonna be the next video about these guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.